Alright guys, Supros here with the first Tekkit tutorial. I'm probably going to be doing more. In this one, I'm not going to actually show how to build it, I'm just going to describe it because I just did it and my audio wasn't recording properly. So I don't really want to remake this whole thing. But I'll explain it in a good way, it'll be understandable. The things you're going to need for this is a deployer, which is this thing. A filter, which is this, a retriever, a blue electric bat box, and the reason why you need this is because the retriever runs off blue electricity, and your solar panels, of course, to fill the bat box. You'll need the water mills, pneumatic tubing, and it could be copper cable. I chose to use a glass fiber cable, I just like it more. And this isn't part of it, but I'm going to do that anyway just to explain it. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to have to make an infinite source like this, which can be made by having two sources, like one here, and then they flow into each other, and they will always reflow into each other to make an infinite one. And then you have your deployer, and it needs to be facing this way into the water because it's a right click. So it goes in this way, and then it comes out over here. And you need to fill this with buckets, and it'll just take the bucket, right click the water, and the filter, it won't let me in it, there we go, it'll filter just the water buckets, so only the water buckets will go through. And this also has to be facing this way. So basically the small hole is on the back. I'll just place a deployer down real quick. So this is what the deployer looks like. The filter's quite similar. The main hole is right here, which is where it takes in all the stuff. Oh, my frame rate's lagging. Oh man. Oh. On this one there is no hole in the back, but there usually is. Why am I lagging so bad? Oh, there we go. So the deployer takes in the bucket, and the filter filters the water bucket through, and that makes sure that just the normal buckets don't go through into the pneumatic tubing. And then the water mills take that water bucket and they empty it into the mill to produce electricity. And then the retriever takes the empty bucket, it pulls all the empty buckets back into here. It's also crucial that the retriever faces this way, takes it in this way and out this way, and puts it into the deployer. So it is quite easy. You'll also need the timer too. Doesn't matter how fast this is going, just every time it ticks, this right clicks, this pulls the filter through, and this retrieves a bucket. So depending on how fast you go, you'll probably end up needing more buckets. Like, see, it's going pretty fast, and there is a lot of buckets in that system. When it makes the power, it can go into either an MFSU, an MFE, a bat box, doesn't really matter. But in this one I'm using an MFSU so that I can show how to convert your power down as well. So when it goes into the MFSU, this part is the output. So any part that like looks different than every other place is the output. Like on the bat box, I believe it has on the normal it has a red spot, and that's where the output is because every other side is yellow. So this is an MFSU, and then we're outputting the power into an MV transformer, and then into an LV, into an electric furnace. And the reason why you have to do that is because an electric furnace requires 32 EU. You can't have any higher than that. And as you can see, the MFSU outputs 512. So that's a lot more. So this red spot is where you put the electricity into to transform it down. So when it goes into the MV transformer, which is this, it takes the 512 EU and turns it into 128. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not quite sure, but I'm almost positive. But it converts 512 EU to 128, and that's still not enough. So then you need an LV transformer, and then that takes 128 EU, puts it into this, and converts it down to 32 EU, which is what you use to use your machines. So, and this shows that it works correctly. This would blow up otherwise if we didn't transform it down. And I'm actually going to show that it would blow up if I do this. And then boom. Even with 128 it blows up. And then you have to remake that. So, and yeah, you'd have to make, and remaking an electric furnace does cost quite a bit. And it does cost more to make all the transformers, but it is a lifesaver in the end. It is quite crucial. For a mass fabricator does not take 32 EU. It takes, I think it can take 1,000 at most, which is what a nuclear reactor outputs. Like, if you can hook up a nuclear reactor directly into an MFSU and it won't blow up. I mean, not an MFSU, a mass fab. If you put a mass fabricator right, like a nuclear reactor, and you put the power cable right into a mass fabricator, it won't explode. It takes a lot. So, like, if you had this whole system set up, and that's getting annoying. If you had this whole system set up, and say you had a mass fab, you could just go like this, and you put your mass fabricator there, and then that'll make it go a lot faster. It will take a lot of your power, but it'll be a lot faster, and it would produce your UU matter a lot quicker. But yeah, so that's how you can make an efficient water source, plus how to transform your electricity down. If anyone's still not unsure on how to do this, I'll remake it again in another video. So yeah, that's the first tutorial I'm gonna do. Yeah, so like, favorite, hopefully this will help you guys. Peace out.